Hi guys, Caroline Hooper, Certified Laser Specialist. So in today's video, it's going to be a basic one. We're going to be talking about laser hair removal. So I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about laser hair removal and more. First thing you need to know is if your hair is grey, you're not suitable for laser. That hair isn't going to work for the simple reason that we need a chromophore or a target when doing laser for it to be effective. So if there's not any pigment in your hair, then it's not for you, it's not going to work. Fact number 2, IPL devices and laser devices are completely different. So there's so many different devices on the market, like worldwide, and everybody's got everything. So there's beauty salons and they're doing things, and then there's medical practitioners and they're using other things, and it's just simply not regulated. So IPL and laser is different, and if you are, I'm just going to bring it over here, shown one of these. This is an IPL machine. Don't use this machine for laser hair removal. And did we use them for doing laser hair removal? Yes, we did. Many years ago, more than a decade ago, they would have been used for laser hair removal. But with the modern technology on the market today, these are just far outdated and not very effective. So if anybody's trying to convince you to do laser hair removal with an IPL machine, say no. Don't let them convince you. Because there's much better technologies available on the market nowadays that are much more safer and effective when doing laser hair removal. Does it work? Yes, it does, but it's nowhere near as effective. Okay, so we know so far that IPL devices are not the gold standard when it comes to doing laser hair removal because of the more advanced technology that's out there on the market. But there is 3 really important things that you need to consider when doing laser hair removal, and that's number 1, the wavelength of the machine being used to do your treatment. The wavelength being the depth of which the laser will travel, because that's going to determine your skin type and is it safe to use this laser on your skin in the first place, and also the comfort levels and the outcome of your treatments. And number 2 would be the cooling system in the device. Again, that's going to be for comfort levels during treatments and safety when doing the treatments. And then the third thing is your ethnic background, so that would be your skin type. And this will determine what laser devices you can be treated with for to have a safe and effective treatment. So laser hair removal. How does laser hair removal work? So you need to understand a hair cycle so that you can understand how laser hair removal actually works. Your hair grows in 3 different stages, and in order for us to kill hairs when it comes to doing laser hair removal treatments, your hair needs to be in the active stage of growth, which is the first stage of growth called the anagen stage of growth. And this basically means that it's in the growing phase, so the hair is attached down at the base of the hair bulb. Now your hair, when it's grown, it's for a good 90% of its life cycle is in an active stage of growth, but because we've got another 2 cycles of hair, that's why we need to do a course of treatments in order to have a permanent effective result from laser hair removal. So there's a couple of different devices that we can use when treating hair. So one of them would be the Alex, which is a 755 nanometer wavelength, which is the depth in which we're traveling into the hair. And you can see here that the response of the skin afterwards is so you can see there's a lot of swelling and redness after the treatment, which is very normal with this device. And then you can look at the Luminous have a device there, which is a diode laser, and this is an 810 nanometer wavelength. So basically what this one does is when it has a slight suction which pulls your hair follicle up closer to the laser, and when the beam is emitted into your skin, it's virtually pain-free. So what to remember when it comes to doing laser hair removal is that we're not trying to target the hair itself. What we're trying to get to is the bulb of the hair at the hair shaft, where the hair is generated in order to have a permanent and effective result from laser hair removal treatments. So that's really the basics on how laser hair removal works. Okay, so which lasers have the least pain when it comes to doing laser hair removal? So we can talk about cooling systems here. So cooling systems are really important when it comes to laser hair removal for 2 reasons. one, client comfort, and two, for the protection of your skin, your epidermal level layer of your skin. So if we take you back to the IPL devices and the older systems, what we're using here is a sapphire chill tip, and what these are for is for like direct cooling to the skin, for safety of the heat being penetrated through your skin. And these are still used in traditional lasers nowadays for client safety. And then we can also look at with the luminous devices what's called a gateway delivery system. And what that basically is, it's where the laser will suck up the skin, and it's making a gateway for the laser to be able to penetrate safely through the epidermis, because it's basically stretching your epidermis, so we're not traveling through the melanocytes that are in the superficial layer of your skin. So it's making it safe to penetrate through the skin and to even treat darker skin types safely. Alright guys, so I thought it'd be best to probably just let you see this treatment being done. So I'm going to do it on myself now, and this one would be my preferred choice when it comes to any of the lasers that we have in the clinic for doing laser hair removal. So this is the gated tubular that I was telling you about for skin protection as opposed to the quiet and cooling skin. So this one is the 810 nanometer diode by Luminous, and the one that comes with the vacuum is the Light Shear Duet. So I'm just going to pop my settings in here now, and I'm just going to do a strip down my lower leg to let you have a look. So I'm on a pretty high setting because I've done a course of laser in the past, and the hair that I get now is very fine. I actually haven't done a treatment in quite a while, so I'm probably due to do that now. So that's the laser now working. Pain scale here, as you can see I'm talking it, I'm not hesitating in any way. It would be the least painful of all lasers, I have to say. I'm a pain scale of 1, I'm feeling a little pinch. But that's it there, if you want to have a closer look up. The downtime after using the Light Shear Duet, because it's got the vacuum assist, you're not, I mean, it's a mild bit of redness is generally what you're going to get after the treatment. That disappears fairly quickly. So yeah, with this one, I just feel this one here is the future. It's the most reliable, the most effective, the safest, and it's the fastest because the vacuum handpiece enables a larger spot size. So when it comes to lasers, this one would be my choice for the simple fact of what I just listed out there, and also because it opens up to all skin types, even the skin type 6, although it's not something that I would recommend treating a skin type 6 with this machine, although it's said that it can be done and it can be done. We don't do it here in the clinic. What you need to do if you're a skin type 6 is this laser over here, and this is the Long Pulse Nd:YAG 1064 nanometer wavelength laser. The only laser that I see to be considered safe for skin type 6, which would be black African skin, because remember, when you're that colour, your hair is the same colour as your skin. Lasers can't identify the difference between that, so we need to, this is a blind technology, so it's safely going to penetrate through any colour skin. So skin type 6 is where you need to be with this one, and the 810 nanometer will pretty much open you up to any other skin type safe. Alright guys, so that was just a quick look at the treatment being done. As you can see, I'm still alive. Everything is well and good. I actually have a client coming in to me soon for laser hair removal. I'll probably see if she'll let us in, because she'll be a real person getting the laser done. It won't be just me saying it, and you can see for yourself. That's if she lets us in, hopefully she will. Okay, so Cleena I have here today having the treatment done. She's very kindly after allowing us to show you guys a couple of zaps that we're going to do now on her lower leg, and she'll probably let you know then how she's feeling during the treatment. So I'm going to show you a couple of zaps that we're just going to do down the side of Clena's legs. She's had a couple of treatments done already. Her hair is quite light, so we're going to have her on a high setting. And she seems to manage pretty well when it comes to doing the legs on this setting. But we need to adjust it due to the hair being finer and lighter in this area. Ready? Mm-hmm. How's that feeling there, Tina?
So we're about halfway through my full body laser hair removal treatment. Just have about 10 more minutes to go and I'll be dressed and out of here.
You can see how quick we can get down the leg. We won't do any more now because Tina won't be due to do this area now for another 4 weeks. Okay, so let's talk about some of the frequently asked questions around laser hair removal. So laser hair removal is a permanent, would be a very popular one. Is it permanent? Yes, it is permanent, but it would be unrealistic to think that you would have a permanent reduction for life. It's not for life because it can be affected by hormones, and because we can't control hormones, we can't control the result of your laser, your initial course of laser being long-term life permanent results. So for the likes of women, there'd be about 10 to 20% of women, females, who would suffer with a hormonal condition called PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome, and it's hormonally driven, where you get excess hair, also known as hirsutism. So for the likes of these people, you're going to need more follow-on treatments or more maintenance on an ongoing manner in order to achieve or maintain a permanent effect on the area. And then there's the likes of men who have hormones such as testosterone and androgenic hormones, which again is going to produce more hair. So initially on a course of treatment, men need more treatment because it's hormonal testosterone driven and androgenic hormones as well. So for the likes of men, the hair may reoccur on the area that bit more frequently than a woman. So more follow-on treatments would be required there. But I mean, generally you're looking at a long-term stable reduction of permanent reduction in the area after undergoing a course of treatment once you've achieved your initial 90% reduction. After that, I mean, worst case, you're probably looking at 2 treatments per year. Some people don't need to have any treatments done they could get 3 years, so it really just depends on the individual themselves and if it's hormonally driven in the background producing any new hairs. But once you kill hairs in an active stage of growth, they are permanently removed. If anything is going to grow up in the future, what you're looking at is dormant hairs that aren't active under your initial course of treatments. We've in fact got the same amount of hairs as a chimpanzee, and at any given time they can be stimulated through what we said hormones, through stress, through menopause, through pregnancy, through certain diets, certain medications. So because we can't control all of this for life, we can of course be dealing with hair in the future and having to maintain hair later on. Okay, and another really frequently asked question around laser would be, how many treatments do you need? And I guess the answer to that question is, it really depends on the individual how many treatments you're going to need. Everybody is different, and to be honest, nobody can tell you on a consultation how many treatments you're going to need. You might be able to get an estimate, but there's a couple of different factors which will determine how many treatments that you need, and most of that will come down to your ethnicity, so where you're from, what skin type you are. So for the likes of, say, Caucasian skins like myself, generally don't have too much hair, but we would have more hair than like an Asian skin. Asian people tend to have a lot less hair than Caucasian skin people, but then at the same time, the likes of people like Greek people would have more hair than a Caucasian skin. So that will determine, you know, how many treatments you're going to need would be your ethnic background. But then there's other factors like the colour of the hair and the density of your hair. Is your hair fine, is it coarse, or is it dense? It will determine how many treatments you're going to need as well, because it's more difficult to treat finer hairs, and finer hairs are going to need more treatment than coarse or dense hairs. So, I mean, somebody who's good at doing laser hair removal will be able to give you a good estimate as to how many you need, but them couple of factors is what's going to determine how many treatments you're going to need in the end. Okay, so laser hair removal preparation. How do we prepare for laser hair removal treatments? So number one would be sun exposure. Avoid recent sun exposure if you're going to have laser treatments done for at least 3 to 4 weeks. after the sun, you shouldn't have a laser treatment done. Remember, we're trying to protect your skin when doing a laser treatment, and we're trying to penetrate the heat into the bulb of the hair, and we don't want any of the energy being absorbed by the superficial layers of your skin. So if your skin has been recently tanned, there's pigment in the surface of your skin, and the laser won't identify the difference between the pigment in your skin and the pigment in your hair. So we want to avoid recent sun exposure as best as possible, because once we're exposed to the sun, our melanocytes activate, and the melanocytes are what gives us a tan. So it's going to take 28 days for these melanocytes to settle back down and become non-active. So once we're outside of them 28 days, we're fine to do laser. On the likes of a diode laser, we would be safe. The likes of the Alex, you'd need to wait until your skin is back to normal skin colour. So you probably need to leave a longer gap if you develop a good tan when you're on holidays. And the same would apply for false tan. False tan, the application for false tan would need to be at least 2 to 3 weeks prior to your laser treatment, applying no artificial tan whatsoever, because again, it's pigment and we don't want the laser to be absorbed in the superficial layers of your skin. Number 2 would be to avoid waxing and plucking the area, because again, we need to get to the bulb of the hair shaft to effectively treat the hair. And if you recently waxed or plucked the hair, you're basically after pulling your hair out of the hair bulb. So when you're in for your next laser treatment, none of the hairs are attached at the root, so we're not going to have an effective treatment. So waxing or plucking would need to be avoided for 3 to 4 weeks before a laser treatment. Number 3 would be shaving the area. So you need to prepare the area before laser hair removal. So the night before your treatment is the best time to shave, to have the area clean shaved for treatment. Remember, we don't want to treat the actual hair. We need to get beneath the skin and treat the actual bulb for you to have the most effective treatment on each of your sessions. So being well prepped and prepared for your treatment, as in shaving, is very important for the outcome. And then 4th one, not to forget, would be protection after laser hair removal. So your skin will be photosensitive for the 2 weeks after your laser treatment, so it's very important that if you're going to be exposed, that you're protecting with a UVA and a UVB protection, or if at all possible to avoid exposure for 2 weeks post treatment. But even after that, it's vital that you're protecting your skin, because you want to avoid post-inflammatory pigmentation, which is darkening of the skin, which if you go unprotected, that is a possible side effect from the laser. So good protection afterwards, definitely don't forget that. So guys, thanks for watching today's video. I hope it's helped you, and it was really basic, just to educate you on the basic principles of how laser hair removal works, because there's a lot of people doing lasers, but there's not very many people out there telling you the truth or giving a lot of information on how it works, or what you need to know when you're doing laser hair removal. Okay, so that's what device, what wavelength is being used, your skin type, what cooling mechanism is being used. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. I'll be back again next Saturday for the 3rd vlog. We'll come up with something useful. If you have any ideas of what you'd like me to do, leave them in the comments below, and I'm more than happy to do what you guys ask for, because again, I'm here to help you. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with your friends, family members, whoever else you think it might help, and we'll see you next week. And remember, stay safe, and as always, feel beautiful, be happy, confidence is key. Thanks for watching.